Well, welcome everybody to Why You Need These Drops. I am Michelle McKay coming in hot from Nashville, Tennessee to Oxford, Mississippi. I am home before all this snow starts. And Tim is probably laughing because he has snow all the time, but we just don't have it very often in Mississippi, right? So it was smart for me to get home so I don't have to be out in it. But welcome to our call tonight. And I am so excited to have not only Miss Cynthia Bolden, but also Tim Sales, who I call the icon of network marketing and direct sales. He is the guru. And so I'm so excited to have him with us tonight to talk about why you need these drops. But before he comes on, of course, you guys know I love sharing why you need these drops from my perspective. Most of you know my story about my mom being diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 55 and died at 62. And my goodness, how I wished we would have had these drops for my mom 29 years ago. So, more than that, of course, we're getting these drops in the hands of billions in honor of my mother. And all of you are part of that. And I'm so thrilled. So, each and every one of you that were invited on this call tonight, you are part of a bigger mission. And that is to get these drops in the hands of billions, because we know that when you get these body balancing drops in our bodies and all the hormones are balanced, the insulin resistance is corrected. Y'all heard from Dr. Strand this morning how important it is to correct that insulin resistance. And what an amazing tool these drops are for correcting insulin resistance. And don't we know, or if you don't know, insulin resistance is not only the precursor to Alzheimer's, but it's also precursor to diabetes, heart disease, strokes, inflammation. So if that's not enough reasons for why you need these drops, we could probably stop right there. But I want you to hear from Tim Sales and Cynthia Bolden why they feel you need these drops. And then, Tim, I want you to also share why Partner Co. When somebody who's been in direct sales in this industry for 35 years, why Partner Co. So that's a mouthful, but Tim, take it away and welcome to our call tonight.
So much. Thank you so very much for that. And I hope that all of you are having just an incredible year starting off. And I'm very ambitious right now. Between me and my wife, we have a whole bunch of goals, some physical, some monetary, some, with family and things like that. And so we're off to a good start. So I'm going to just share my screen here and walk you through why I feel as though that why everybody needs the drops, okay? And so if I were to ask anybody, what's the biggest trend on planet Earth right now? I don't know, they'd say AI or something like that, or the political agenda that's going on right now, or whatever. But I don't believe that is the biggest trend. Okay, so 82%. Before I just say it, 82% of the U.S. population of adults are overweight, obese, or severely obese. And so the reason that you don't see it as 82% is because they don't ever put those add those categories together. And so that's the biggest trend on planet Earth. And it's very interesting to me when I just, talk to people. A lot of people think that being overweight is a cosmetic issue. And I created this little scale here because it's kind of a continuum where a person is, they're on the left side of the screen here. I hope it's your left. Is death, and we don't want that, right? And so, but we can see these incremental steps, and people don't recognize them as things they should pay attention to. So, just before death, there's chronic disease most of the time, And then just before that, it's chronic issues. And then just before that, it's body problems. And I would fit overweight into that category. And then there's low energy just before that. And so then if the person is not sick, they think that I'm healthy. Okay. That's kind of the concept that people have in their heads, because I did a survey on this. And then you're not healthy, you're on the edge of sick, is what it is. And so why? Well, there's two things, and there's only two things that you can do to a human cell, and that is you can have toxins and it destroys a human cell, or you have nutritional deficiencies and it also destroys a cell. And that is the fundamental. And if you can just always think with that, you'll be able to see the whole picture a lot better. And then I also see that there are incremental stages towards being fully alive, like vital, like vitality and things like that. And so healthy, I'd say right in the middle of that category. But what I'm after, even though I'm 62 years old, is I want physical and mental vigor, all right? Strong effort, high energy, enthusiasm, all of that. That's what I want. And it is really what my purpose is. I'm going to jump through a few slides here to get to the percentage of people who are not even at the recommended daily allowance. And if you know anything about how the RDA was actually created, it was at a time when we were trying to save food so that we could send food over to our guys in World War I. And so now you can kind of get the picture that that was the minimum, all right? And so when you look at folate, okay, so it's near the bottom here, is at 75%. Well, folate is green vegetables, okay? That's God painted it for us, made everything green, right? So that's the thing. So my dream was always to get on a farm, and I got on a farm. And so some of my chickens were laying eggs. Do you see? I'm going to just get a pointer here. Laser pointer. Okay. So do you see that little whelp right there? I'm just wondering, what drug is my chickens missing? It's not a drug. It's a nutritional deficiency. Okay. And so all I have to do is add some things to the food, and that goes completely away pretty quickly, like in a month or two. Okay. And then this right here. So I know this person, it's not me, but the analysis of the blood shows these little weak things right here. It's wobbly. What it ought to look like is something like over here. Every single one of these cells need to have that strong membrane. And so it's lacking antioxidants. Do you see all those deficiencies that I showed you? All right. So now that is the reason why I am in Partner Co. is because they have done the very best research, and I'm a real nerd that way, on what exactly is needed in our products and what do we sell. And I get down to the bottom of, why do I sell? Well, I was in the U.S. Navy Special Operations, deep sea diving, skydiving, all that kind of stuff. And I did that because my entire family throughout my life, whether it was uncles, whether it was fathers, grandfathers, all the men served in the military. And I was over in the Middle East, and I was sitting there thinking, why in the world am I over here when I need to be saving the people back in the United States? Because more people are dying because of deficiencies in the food supply that we have, and being overweight, and they don't even know why. I really know the industry. I've had a high 6 to 7 figure income for the past 36 straight years in a row. There's not been a year that I haven't had a high 6 to 7 figure income. And I had retired for 18 years and I still had that income. And so I don't think there's a better business in the world for the average person than network marketing. But specific to why I'm here at Partner Co, number one, if you just get around Darren Zobrist, you can't help but see that he is a great man as a human being. I'm not talking about how smart he is in business. I'm just talking about he's a great man. And he had his own health journey, and he fixed it. And so number one is that if I'm going to be in business, I'd want a business that's going to be able to grow. Okay, that's what I want. I want it to not just be a small market. So if I wanted to buy a franchise and I would plop it down into, I don't know, Park City, Utah, well, nobody's going to fly from Italy to come to my one business. And so I want a lot of markets, and we've got 50 plus markets that we can grow our businesses into. It's debt free, around $350 million. And that's a sweet spot because the company can make a profit, but it's got a whole long way to go to get into the tens of billions of dollars. And then it's the highest payout of the whole industry. And I know that very emphatically, but it isn't just that we pay out more, because there's a lot of ways that companies can hide that money from you. In other words, you have to get 12 team members in order to get the whole compensation plan kind of a thing. And so if you only got 2 people, well, then they're not going to give you the lion's share of your organization. They're going to take that money and then pay it out to somebody else. And so I hope I'm not talking over anybody's head. I'm more letting you know that I know where to look. Just like in the military, I was a very well-trained warrior. And so that's what it is. And then also with the slenderized system of growth, we are hitting right into the center of that 82% of the US population. And that is just massive. And I thought it was the hokiest idea I had ever seen when it first came out until I tried it. And I was like, what in the world does this do? And then I would try to ask about it. And they were like, blah, 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 blah. And they're doing. And so when I got the result, I go, well, I'm an anomaly. I'm a guy who's willing to eat a whole handful of arugula just for the heck of it. And I'll run as long as I want to and things like that. And so I ran a Facebook ad. I got 24 guys. And I said, look, guys, I chose you old men because you're all stubborn just like I am. You're set in your ways and you don't want to change anything. And so, and I said, but I'm going to do the program. I'm going to tell you what to do. And if you do it, I want to see the results. And if you don't get any results, I'll give you your money back. And so average weight loss of 24 older men, 45 we had 45 to 68. And it was 26.7 pounds. That was the average weight loss of us in 60 days. No exercise except for walking 20 minutes. And so for that is the reason that I'm here, because only Partner Co has this product. So I'm going to pass it over to Cynthia, or I'm going back to Michelle, whichever one you want.
All right. Way to go. Man, I'm almost forgetting that it was time for me to say something. Tim, that was absolutely awesome. I love the slides, and that's really talking my love language coming from the nutrition background, is that we actually have something in our hands that the world needs. I mean, the world, not, yes, community, but when you think world, and the thing about it is, it takes all of us to help and to share with people, because I always like to say it this way: we never know who's praying for that answer. They may be smiling on their face, And I was in the grocery store. I was telling Tim and Michelle, a lady had been watching me, one of the managers. I mean, and she reached out through Messenger. She never said she worked in Kroger. She never said she was the manager. We just went through the regular steps. And when you know, I got there and I'm like, it's her. I mean, we speak and talk, but I never knew that somebody would be looking at you that way. And I asked her, I said, have you been following the post? I mean, we don't talk in the grocery store. So again, why do we need these drops? Because she had been watching. She's watched a year. She watched my budget. Think about it. I go to Kroger 3 times a week, and the joke is, oh wow, there's Cynthia. She always on the produce side, and I'm speaking, and I'm still getting my greens, and they had the best greens today. Everything looked so fresh and pretty. But all of that makes a staple. So I think, along with what Tim was saying, remember, you count. You count. And remember, people, we have the tool in our hand. And always remember, our goal is how good can we feel? And then spread that joy on how good others can feel, because it started with us and we decided to share. So, Tim, thank you so, so very much. I mean, I am pumped. I love everything about it. And I am just so excited to be a part of a group of people, starting from the very top, the owners, the company, a group of people where we truly can say we are better together. And it makes it so fun, so much easier. We started our challenge today, day one, and it's just like we're locking arms right here, putting in remembrance that we can do this. We have it 28 days plus, but your cells are smiling and happy. And the little thing on the green, and I'll leave it at this and give it to Michelle. Greens, I just want to tell you this. As you think about your eating plan along with the drops, the greener you are, the cleaner you are. Greens are your builders and fruits are your cleansers. So I'm telling you, let's mix it with those drops and let's rock and roll. All right, Michelle, now to you.
Well, that was amazing, Cynthia. And Tim, what a great perspective that we all needed to hear. I mean, when people, that was me. I thought I was fairly healthy, but I was on the edge of sick. Exactly what you said. So much insulin resistance in my body, and I didn't know why it was there. I just knew the brain fog was the manifestation of what I was feeling, and I felt awful and lost hope. But everything you said just put it in such amazing perspective. So to close us out tonight, if you don't have your drops yet, you have a few options. I always say we have 4. One is retail, and we just knock it off because we're not using that as an option. Nobody wants to pay retail for their drops. Option number 2 is you're going to save on your drops, okay? You're going to come in as a brand partner and get your drops for wholesale, right? But number 3 is you're going to save and earn. So if we're telling you that we want you to help us get these drops in the hands of billions, why not get paid for it? Because once you feel amazing in your body in just a matter of weeks, there is no doubt you're going to want to tell other people about it. And let's get you paid for sharing. And then number 4 is save and earn fast. So get back to the person who brought you on this call. Let them know whether you are a 2, 3, or 4. Tim, Cynthia, thank you all so much for being with us tonight. It was an amazing call, and we'll have the recording for everybody in just a little bit, and we'll have it posted. And y'all make sure you're inviting next week. We'll have it again. We have not missed a Monday night. So Monday nights, 6:30 Central Time, get people on this call. Thank you, Tim and Cynthia. God bless you all. Have a great night.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. I love you. Bye, Michelle.
I love you. Bye, Cynthia.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tim. Bye, y'all.